So great. Well, thank you all for joining. This is as we now renamed it and rebranded, the Northeast Technical Zoom call. We've been doing this for 8 years now, and we've really expanded. So one of the things what we're doing across the states is we're mirroring what we've created here in the Northeast. So far, we have one in the Mid-America area, which that was last Wednesday. They had their second meeting. That is in the Ohio and Michigan area. I see Dave Roberts is on the call. He participated in that call last week. And then tomorrow night, we have our first in the Plains. And the Plains is going to be Texas, Kansas City, Omaha, in that area there. So they're knocking that off. And we do anticipate in 2026, there will be technical Zoom calls in the South and also in the West. And this has really been a feeling of some of the successes that we've had with this forum over the past many years and how well it's worked here and going through to adopt it in other areas of the country. As you are all aware, we do record this and we do post it on our YouTube channel on the homepage of the website. One of the other things that we also are doing now, there's a functionality within Zoom called AI Companion. It does an outstanding job of tracking the discussions. So I convert that to a Word document and post that on the website as well. So, historically, I would give you a caption of things we're going to discuss. So we're going to start tonight with John Hughes. He's got a question for a friend of his regarding his brake booster with a very hard pedal. So that would be the caption that we'd have on our website, but we'll be able to capture it in even more detail than that. So, John, anything else you want to add as it relates to your first question as our leadoff hitter tonight, all the way from Nova Scotia?
No, I don't think so. I think that pretty well covers it. It's you got to lean really hard on the brake pedal to get the lights come on. So I suspect it's a bad pressure switch. But if there's anything else anybody can suggest.
Yes. By the way, excuse me, I didn't say it. It's a 67 BJ8. So
John?
It does have a brake booster, John?
Yes.
Okay.
Peter?
Please.
Hi, Rich Duquette here at the top of your screen.
Yeah, go ahead, Rich.
This is a very, very coincidental that John is talking about a brake booster to start this whole program. And that's why I came on, because I had the same problem. My car locked up right in the middle of the street, and it wouldn't stop. And I had to, it wouldn't move. I put the brakes on lightly, and they just stopped. And I had
So
to
froze. The car froze. You're saying?
Yeah, just froze.
Okay.
And I had a burning clutch trying to get it over to the side of the road.
Wow.
So then now the question is, what kind of booster was it? And then there were two kinds of boosters. One of them is like a solid state. You can't get into it, that I recall. The other one has a steel strap around it, and it breaks into two separate pieces. And I started looking at the price to buy a kit and things like that, or to buy a new booster. I think in the $300 range or something like that. So my kind of way of doing things, that if it's broken, find out why. You're going to throw it away anyway, right? So I looked at mine. Mine had the band around it, which had it's screwed. It's a screw type band. You slide the band in it, and it opens up. And there was the diaphragm in there and stuff like that. And there's not much to it. So everybody was scaring me on this. Oh, if you don't know how to do this, don't do it, blah, blah, blah. So I pulled it apart and I started looking at this thing. And there's this little hole. It's it's the size of a pencil eraser. And I started looking at that and I said, what is this thing? It looked like it should move, because it had a hollow in it, like something went into it, like a rod or something like that. And I was able to pick it out, and it was all rusty inside. So I got this little brush and
Dialogue or something? Can you just watch it?
what's that?
John Bourne, I put you on mute.
So anyway, I cleaned that little piece out. There was nothing else wrong with this that I could see. That little thing that must have had, brake fluid going through it. But my car was sitting for a long time, for many, many years, when I finally put it together. So it could have rusted inside from lack of use. And I have no problem with it now.
Great.
And it was an easy
Hey,
fix.
Rich, do you mind? Let's go back to John and the original question.
Okay, John.
So let's go back to see if we can answer his question first, and then we'll come back to you if you don't mind. So I think John's question there was as it relates to a really hard pedal before the brake lights would come on. Does anyone have any feedback for John as it relates to that on that, if it's a switch or something else possibly?
John, I have a question.
We've
Are you
found
saying that the brake, it's the brake lights that don't come on, not the brakes? If you brake normally, the car stops,
Yes.
but the
Yeah.
brake lights won't come on.
It's just the brake lights.
Yeah, that's the brake light switch. The brake light switch have a little O-ring inside them. Eventually, the O-ring wears out. Fluid leaks past the O-ring to the other side of the diaphragm and makes them very heavy. So you have to replace the switch.
Okay. Okay. Good to know. Thank you.
And Bob Abbott, you were starting to say as well. Was there anything else you wanted to add, Bob?
just that there have been cases where we found if we bled the the brake light switch, that helped too, because you get a bubble of air in there and the air doesn't compress the switch or activate the switch. So by holding the brake pedal down and cracking the screw or the line going into the switch,
just to let a little fluid bleed out.
Get a little fluid out of it, and it may fix it, but it's probably going to be a bad switch.
Okay, well, that's a good place to start. Thank you.
This problem with brake light switches is a lot more prevalent with silicone fluid than it is with regular fluid.
Okay, I think this car has regular fluid.
And what's been the experience with these reproduction brake light switches? Are they up to par or are they a little dodgy? The replacements.
In my own car, I put a new one on when I restored the car, a repro, and it lasted about 4 years and failed again. So I've actually changed mine. I have a micro switch operating the brake lights. I took the hydraulic switch right out of it.
Okay.
So you have a micro switch off the brake pedal?
That's correct.
Okay, good to know.
I've done that with my last two cars. Use the brake light switch from a TR6.
Good to know.
And is a micro switch the one that the TR6 has, or did you get that from a different source, Michael?
No, micro switches, they're readily available at electronic suppliers. They're not really made to be brake switches, but I happen to have one and it worked. What Bob's talking about is it's more like a plunger switch, isn't it, Bob?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Bob, you found that worked well, you said, in the past two cars?
Yeah, I just bent up a small bracket and screwed it into the heater plenum or the ducting or whatever you want to call it above the brake pedal and adjusted it to the pedal.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, good to know. Thank you.
John, the car you're talking about is a Mark III?
Yeah, it's a 67 BJ8.
Yeah, what Bob's talking about works really well for 6-cylinder cars. Not so easy on 4s. That's why I use the micro switch.
Okay.
Okay. So, Rich, do you want to go back? Do you have a question, or did you solve your problem with your brake booster? Rich, you were saying you were talking earlier? I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't have it on. Yeah, I did solve my own problem. I took a chance, pulled it apart, and didn't even have to buy a part. I cleaned what was in there and came back, put it back in again. It was fine. Um,
Right?
so I don't know what John's problem was. He said your brakes locked up on you.
No,
Oh,
no, it's the brakes work fine. It's just the pressure switch for the brake lights
oh, I
took a
see.
hard, very hard pedal to get them to come on. And
Okay.
it sounds like we have possibly 3 or 4 different solutions.
Okay. I'm all set.
I should
Great.
mention that you mentioned there are two types of brake servos.
Yes.
Originally, there was only one type. It was a Girling brake servo, and that's the type that had an almost a flat plate on the end of the chamber, which was held on by I think 12 1032 screws with square nuts on them. That's the original style. The type you're describing with the band that's held together by a screw is a later exchange type, not original to the car. I think they were originally made by Lockheed.
I think
Um,
so.
yeah,
Yes.
they're quite different inside actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one that's on this car is a competition type, and it came from AH Spares. I found it on the AH Spares website, and it's mounted up in there in a slightly different position.
Great.
I've been having a different problem. I can't get my Austin-Healey to start in the cold weather.
Hey, Dave, let's come back to your question. We all the people who sent their questions in advance, we take those first, and then we come back for those that
Okay.
that way. Just so we're going to go all the way to sunny Florida right now. Now this is the Northeast group, but we're going to allow Steve Jacoby in because I'm sure he's in the villages right now, enjoying the nice sunny weather down there. And you got a problem with your crankshaft bolt, right, Steve? Steve
Well,
Jacobian?
first of all, I'm in New Jersey and it's
Oh,
cold
you
as
are?
fuck.
Okay. Good.
So I'm with the rest of you guys.
Right.
I don't have a problem with the crankshaft bolt. This is the crankshaft pulley.
Yep.
Sits on the front of the motor. This is not mine. This is a spare. And what I have on my pulley, if you wiggle the fan, the pulley goes like this. It doesn't go side to side. It's almost like the keyway, a little hard to see. But the pulley goes on the crankshaft. There's a key, and then there's a big bolt, a washer, and a big bolt. And the bolt is actually the kind of bolt where you would put, or the nut, where you would put the starter, when you used to crank it, because it has that flaring on the front. So my question is, my pulley is loose on the crankshaft, and it goes like that. Not sideways this way, but just wobbles this way, maybe a 36th of an inch. So the question is, has anyone experienced that? And I have some ideas for solving it, but maybe Bob and some other people have experienced this. And what do you guys think?
I have
I'm
a
going to
s-
share. Go
Okay.
ahead. Michael, do you mind if I share your,
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead.
come on. Why won't it? Let me just try it again. That's one thing I find our friends at Zoom. Okay. Are you seeing that wrench that Michael created on the right-hand side?
Actually, I didn't create it. That's a factory wrench. It's a
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
well-used factory wrench, but it isn't factory wrench. It's
It
described
looks
in the
like
work.
it's been hammered a number of
Yeah,
times.
it's described in the workshop manual as a slugging wrench.
There you go.
Well described. The problem that you're describing with your front pulley was really common when these cars were in daily use. The front pulleys used to get the slack in them, usually because somebody had it off and hadn't tightened it properly. When they had that slack in them, typically we had to take the pulley off and replace the key itself. We didn't have to do any work on the keyways. And then I had 3 of these slugging wrenches at one stage, but that's what you use to tighten it up. And that that nut has to be really, really tight. And you're using the inertia of the crankshaft to hammer against when you're tightening that nut. You can't undo them with an extension and a socket when they're done up properly. So it's
Okay.
got to be real tight.
Can I do an impact gun?
Nope. In my opinion, a gun doesn't do as much as that slugging wrench will do,
Okay.
unless it's like a 1 inch.
Can we get rid of this picture?
Sure.
So can you use that wrench when the engine's in the car?
That one you can, amazingly. The way it's bent, you can get it onto the pulley,
Right.
and it hangs down below the cross member enough that you can hit it with a club hammer.
A question,
Yeah.
So
Michael?
you're suggesting, all right, what I was thinking was taking the nut off, because I haven't measured it, but I heard it was 1 11/16.
Yep.
But I for a socket. But my idea was to take the nut off, put another washer behind it. There should be a washer there according to the parts manual. There is a washer, but I haven't had mine off in 25 years, so I don't know. And I was thinking if I put another washer there and then tighten it up and tighten it, because the nut is not loose. The nut is tighter than hell.
The nut will appear to be tight,
Okay.
but the washer you're talking about is actually a tab washer, and it has a little tang on the inside which engages in the keyway in the pulley, and then you bend the flat over against the nut after you've tightened it, with the idea being it'll stop it coming undone. But what you're describing is absolutely typical. A washer is not required. The pulley is longer than the section of the crankshaft that it goes onto. So a washer will make no difference.
Oh, really?
You
Okay.
just have to put it on and then whack that ratchet. Yeah, and you could actually have these days. You could have one of those things laser cut out of 1/4 inch steel. You could. It wouldn't be that expensive these days.
Well, when you were working on yours, you still have to take the radiator out, correct? And the fan to get, there's not a lot of room in there. And
We were working
pretty
flat
much
rate.
goes right up to the cross member.
We were working flat rate. It took a long time to take the radiator out. You avoided that at all costs. We could tighten them up without taking the radiator out. We used to take you turn off the battery master switch and undo the four engine mount bolts on each side. Put a jack under the pan, and you jack the engine up until it starts to bend the throttle linkage. And you take the little plastic thing off the manifold, because that'll break.
Yeah.
And you can get the
Right.
engine up high enough to get the pulley off,
Well, why would I want to take the pulley off?
because you want to change the key.
That's right.
You have to change the key. Unless you get the pulley off and change the key, it'll still rattle. It will make a hellacious racket. So do it.
There is
Just
another
bite the bullet
solution.
and do
Well,
it.
wait a minute. Let's hold on to that idea. You have to lift the motor up pretty high to get the pulley off, right?
You
That's
do.
correct.
Right. So you almost have to, everything you said, but I'm also thinking I'd have to take the exhaust downpipes off.
No.
No, you don't have to take those off. They'll clear.
It'll clear enough?
Yep. Yeah.
With
Yeah.
plugs
I'll
and
have to
pipes,
look at
right?
I've done it a couple of hundred times.
What about the motor mounts? You got to move the
You
motor
have
mounts?
to undo the four bolts that hold the motor mounts onto the frame on each side.
Right.
And you
that
have to
wouldn't be a
take the little
problem.
plastic,
They're easily
you must take the
accessible.
plastic bearing off the manifold for the throttle linkage, because you'll break it.
Okay.
Other than that, you just jack it up until it starts to bend the cross rod on the firewall, and that's as high as it'll go.
Okay.
And then you
Michael?
can get off.
Michael?
Yep.
Can I ask a question here?
Yep.
On the shaft, would it help if you could get in there and peen the shaft
No.
in completely in the circle, or actually peen the harmonic balance wheel inside to
No.
make it tighter when it slides on?
That's not the secret. The secret is to have a tight key and have that nut really, really tight. Now, there's another little secret. It's called red Loctite.
Aha.
Mhm.
Yes.
And when you're putting it on, if you really don't want it to come loose, you pour a whole bunch of red Loctite in there and put it on, and it'll never come loose. Mind you, the guy who's rebuilding the engine will curse you to tears.
Well, yeah, that could be part of it. The funny thing that I find is the nut is tight, but obviously not tight enough because it's not pushing tight. And I think over time, that's why I thought maybe the key in the keyway, that is probably softer metal than the crankshaft opening slot. So I would think the key would wear first, right?
That's correct. The key is softer. The crankshaft keyway doesn't typically get damaged until they're really, really loose. And also the slot in the pulley can get damaged if they're really loose. But generally speaking, a key will resolve the issue.
Okay.
I can tell you what'll happen if you don't do anything. Mine, I had to send the crankshaft to Montreal and have it ground and re-chromed and then ground to its final shape because that pulley was loose and wiggled away and wore down the shaft.
Well,
So they re-chromed it, and that was the only solution they could come up with.
Interesting.
So
Fortunately, I've
try
got
to get
about
it
20
fixed.
crankshafts.
All right, well, that's very helpful. I was thinking trying to tighten the nut, but I see that maybe if I'm going to jack it up, this is one of those areas where time to replace the motor mounts if they're going to come off. They've been on for 25 years.
Yeah, it's not a 10-minute job.
No, that's fine, but it's been an issue for a while.
Yeah.
So you can do all this.
This is a little easier than pulling the motor out to do it.
Yeah. So
Lifting it is, that's going to be a bit of a pain in the butt, but
yeah. So you do all this from underneath? Leave the
Yeah,
rad in place?
mostly from underneath, yes. Yeah.
Yeah,
You
okay.
don't do the engine mounts from above. You take the bracket off the throttle
Right.
from above, but you jack it up from underneath.
Yeah.
now you jack it up on the as forward as you can, or right
Yes.
where the drain
Well,
plug is.
it does. I used to just jack them under the flat part of the pan.
Yeah.
It was enough. You could get it
Okay,
up.
that's enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Put a
I'll have to
With a
look
piece of
again.
wood.
I didn't think
Put a
Yeah.
I
piece of
thought
wood
that
in some.
cross member. I
Yeah.
thought that cross member was too deep for it to come out in the BJ8 unless
Yeah,
I had the motor out. But
You can get it off. Yeah.
yeah,
It's tight, but you can get it off.
okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Put a piece of 2x10 underneath between your oil pan and your jack.
Yes. To protect it, right.
Yeah.
do you still have a steel pan, Steve?
I do. I have the original pan.
Yeah. Yeah. Obviously, you don't want to jack directly on that.
Well, that's
no.
the other. Sorry, that's the other thing. You want to make sure the fan blades are horizontal, not vertical, or you'll put a blade through the bottom of the radiator tank.
Oh, I'm taking the radiator out
Okay.
and the fan.
You're not on flat rate.
You were charging people. I'm doing the easy way out.
But again, you're going to be doing this in sunny, warm Florida,
Yeah.
not in the cold New Jersey.
Well, that's not true. The car will be coming back here, and I'll do it back here. I'm not gonna.
Oh, you're
I
not doing
don't
this
have
this winter.
the tools and capability down there that I do here.
Okay, I got you. Okay.
And this sounds like an easier job to do on the lift than on the garage floor.
Yeah.
That's
Thanks.
definitely
That's
true.
interesting to. And now I was going to just replace the old pulley. I know Moss sells a new dynamic pulley that's pretty, but it's like $700. I'm not sure if that's really needed.
The originals are real good.
I have a dynamic pulley on mine. It's from Australia, and I think the torque was 95 foot-pounds.
On that bolt?
Yes. That's a lot of torque.
Oh, that's not as much as the I would tell you, bet you the slugging wrench could get you 200.
Wow.
It's
Okay.
it's really, really tight. You can
Okay.
tell from the picture that things have been well beaten.
Is
You
that
certainly can from that picture you sent.
Yeah.
No question.
Yeah,
We
I might be borrowing that.
yeah. It had
But
to
if I
last
have a
12.
socket, I can tighten it
Yeah.
very hard with the socket, but maybe even an open-end wrench and hammering that. Or
Maybe.
So
Yeah.
I don't know.
They had to last 12 months because they gave 12 months warranty on the jobs.
Michael, is that a reverse thread on those?
No, it's a very fine right-hand thread.
Okay.
So
Very fine.
do you put the car in gear and put the brakes on while you're doing all this? Isn't that hard on the whole system right
Not
through?
not really, because the inertia of the crankshaft is enough when you whack it. You know, it might spin a little bit. Putting it in gear stops it sort of rotating on you, but the inertia, you're working with the inertia of the crankshaft to get it tight.
Yeah, and that wrench is going to fly around too when the crank
Yeah.
spins with it.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
put it in gear, it doesn't hurt.
Okay.
Fourth gear.
Okay.
You'll
All right,
find
thanks.
you'll prob-
That'll be my project. I'll film it and let you guys know how I do.
you'll
Okay.
probably find when you get the pulley off that the key is no longer straight. It'll be stepped
Yes.
Oh, really? And why would that be?
because the pulley has been working against it side to side.
Yeah,
It'll be trying to shear it in half.
yeah, and the key is soft,
So
intentionally.
you'll need a new key for sure.
Absolute, right. But then I also need, as Michael said, the washer that bends over or
Yes.
flaps over. It's almost like the washer. Where else do they have that kind of washer? On the rear hubs, they have that washer that you tap over.
Yeah, and on the
Lock the
camshaft.
hub in.
And on the camshaft.
Okay, there you go. All right, when I get there, I'll do some pictures. Thank you, Peter. That was very helpful.
You're welcome. No, thanks for all the experts and that provides some great expertise there. We appreciate that. Robert Scala, are you on the call? Robert? Okay, we'll come back to Robert. Dave Jameson. Dave's right there. He's out in his shop, and so I'm going to share a couple little videos, hopefully, that Dave shared with us earlier, and hopefully we'll get voice with it as well. Let's see. Bear with me. Where did it go? Dave, you want to give us a lead up to this as we
Well, back in the summer, I walked behind the car, and for whatever reason, I stuck my hand down. We were just finished a little bit of a run, and I put my hand down, and I was just feeling the exhaust coming out of the pipes, and I noticed that one pipe, the left-hand pipe, as you're standing behind the car, which is the front bank of cylinders, was behaving differently than the right side. So I grabbed a paper towel and I held it. And from the right pipe, which is the back set of cylinders, it was a nice puffing, just a puff, 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 puff. However, on the other side, it was a puff, suck type of thing. And it literally was. It was trying to draw the paper towel out of my hand into the exhaust and then blowing it back out. So after great amounts of discussion and thought, we decided what we would do is I redid the valves. I rechecked my, to get my 0, 1, 2.
I'm going to try it now, Dave. Let me know if you can hear this.
I can't hear anything, Peter.
Okay. Yeah.
I think you have to click the arrow, Pete.
Well, I just try. It's only 30 seconds. I'll try that again, Dave. Otherwise, you're going to need to explain it.
Well,
What about over on the right-hand side there?
Can you hear that? No?
Nothing
No,
here.
and there's no
Okay,
video.
I'm going to stop sharing.
Unfortunately, what you need to do is share the other screen. It'll actually show behind the
So,
screen.
unfortunately, Dave, with Zoom, when you share, the videos don't work.
Damn. So you want
Stop
me
that.
just to
Go
give
ahead,
the
Dave.
Coles- well, the Coles Notes version is that when you put the tissue on the one pipe, it was a nice puff. But when you put it on the other pipe, it was like puffing and sucking at the same time. So we figured that there was something to do with the valves, and it had to be something going on in the front end, the first 3 cylinders. So I readjusted the valves, and I thought, well, that's probably fixed it, because I did have on one valve, it was a little bit too tight. And we were assuming that maybe it wasn't closing when piston was coming down. So that turned out that unfortunately that was not the issue. So then we decided that we would take it one step further, and we acquired from a good friend a leak down device. And maybe I'll just grab that device.
So Dave shared some videos and some pictures of that. So he's pulled the head, and he's showing carbon inside the pistons, and then he also showed on the head itself.
So this is the leak down device. What happens is you put this side to your compressor, and you turn this, and you bring this right up to 100 pounds. And then you take said pressure hose, we'll call it, this hose here, and you put that in the spark plug, and then you shove it in here. And this gauge is the indicator. So as you can see, there's a green, and there's a yellow and a red. Well, immediately it shot right to red, which meant that it was receiving, there was no seal. So I said, geez, I could hear air, and I could actually feel some air coming from the push rods. So then I went to the back of the car, and that's where the real shows on that other video, and it's too bad you can't play it, even with the 4-letter words that were going along with it. I think there was something like, fuck me, oh wow. But anyways, it turns out, and that's really about what it was, hey Pete, it turns out that you could put your hand on the left tailpipe, and you could feel the air, and you could hear it rushing out. So it clearly was a valve issue. So as the video said, 4-letter word, hoo-wah, head's got to come off. So we pulled the head off it, and it was a significant amount of carbon. So then we had Mike involved throughout this. Every time I do something, I'd send an email or another video off to Pete and Mike, and which was really, I got to tell you, a lot of fun. That was, Mike, I got to thank, that was so much fun, including the what happens to your arm when you're trying to get in at these tight spots.
Ouch.
Then he warns me, he says, Dave, it's only going to get worse. That really tickled me. But anyways, the end result was that we had the head now out, and we had it port side up, we'll say, on the workbench. And Mike said, take a little bar saw or whatever, and just put it in the, your openings and on the valves, and just flood that a little bit and see what happens. Well, sure enough, I put with a dropper equal amount of gasoline in each one of the ports. Would it be called a port or the cap?
Yeah.
Combustion chambers.
Combustion chamber. And immediately cylinder number 1 and cylinder number 2, it was running out of the exhaust port. So it was bypassing right through the valves. Now, of course, the valves are sitting on the bench, not touched, not, just exactly on the head. So it definitely, the valves are not seating at all, not sealing, we'll say. So that's where we are right now. So we've got I'll just maybe, if I can.
So you get the head off, right?
Hey?
The head's off.
Oh yeah. Okay, I think maybe I can show. That got it there?
Yep. We can
Yeah.
see we can see the block.
Yeah, so the block is now all cleaned up, and it was 30 over thou, which surprised me. I wasn't sure any history on this engine, but it's 30 over thou. So we got that cleaned up, and then of course we have there's the gasket, and the gasket did not reflect any issues, like as far as anything there. I mean, there was nothing that it was leaking from one to the other. And of course we have an array of parts here. And of course, you know, everything marked 1 to 12 or whatever, whichever, and little bags of goodies. And even the plugs, oddly enough, the plugs are all pretty well. How was that for the plugs? Yeah, you can see like there's nothing really that would say there was something going on there, right? But clearly there was quite an issue. On yet I drove that car. Pam and I drove that to the Falmouth. I know I was on an interstate and we were running about 75 miles an hour for a fair chunk of it. And I noticed nothing that would lead me to think there was anything significantly wrong other than the sound. And well, now we know that it was a lot more than just sound. So I'm really looking forward to getting it back together. Avoiding bronze guides. That's it, Mike. Do not use the bronze guides. No. So
Do not use bronze guides in a cast iron head.
Yeah. So that's what we're at for something, you know, to keep me busy for the month of December, anyways.
Dave, I have a question. When you do your valves, are you going to machine the valve seats for unleaded gas? Usually, I think they're stellite.
I don't think so. You know, it's in a machine shop called TDC, Top Dead Center in Kingston, Ontario, and they do a lot of British engines, a lot of MGBs, a lot of TR6s, and the odd Healey. And I'm going to go with whatever they recommend.
Okay.
Yeah.
So are you doing more than a valve job, Dave?
No, Pete, I really don't want to get into the bottom end of it. To do that, then I got to put it on I got to put the Model A over here, and then I got to put it on I'll put it on the hoist anyways, just to get at some of those nuts to put that friggin', like to put the carburetors back. Yeah. Michael, stop that, Michael. Folks, I got to tell you, I have never in my life been wounded like this. I mean, both arms are just beaten because you're in there and you can't see. You cannot see it. So you're in there and you're trying to feel for it. And then you're trying to use a socket with a little bit of a bendy device, that does this and this, and it's fallen over, and you got your other finger trying to hold it up. And then you no sooner get it all held into place, and you turn around, and Pam's gone, because Pam's the one who gets the tools. So there I am in the garage screaming, hey, Pam, well, Pam's hanging the laundry out on the line. You know, it was really, but I got to tell you, the emails back and forth between Pete, Mike, and I are, they're just stellar. It's a lot of fun.
So should we call the police for elder abuse there, Mike, Dave?
Oh, Christ, I'm telling you, look, I had a full head of hair before I started this. You know?
Well, Dave, the good news is it's harder to put it back together.
No. Oh, it's brutal. It's just brutal. I mean, I even took there was I think it's a 1/2-inch wrench or whatever for some of the parts, and I went and found an old, and I took it through the grinder and cut them in half. So there I am using these little stubbies, you know, whatever. And I'm in there like this, but of course you're in, you know, and if I had it on the hoist, it would be, I think, easier, because then at least I could reach up and probably see what I'm doing. But it's not for the faint of heart.
Get that Ford out of the way. Get a real car on the lift. Anything else, Dave?
No, that's it. I'm really looking forward to getting it on the road come spring because I never realized that it was well, one giveaway was compression. I was 165, 161, 168, and that number 2 cylinder was 123.
Oh, okay.
So that was an indication there.
Yeah.
But it ran like a top. Like I say, we drove it 250 miles to Falmouth. It's more than that, actually. It's double. And we never had an issue.
Great.
What do you think?
Robert Scala, have you joined us? Okay, we'll take some questions for the floor. Dave Bonet, did you have a question?
Yeah, I'm having a lot of trouble getting my car to start in the cold. I went out to start it the other day. It was around 0 degrees centigrade. And it wouldn't start. It starts fine in the summer and in the fall. When it's down around 1 or 2 degrees, it starts okay. But just lately, it's down around -1 or -2. And I'm wondering if there's how I should adjust the carburetor to deal with this.
So are you pulling the choke out all the way, Dave?
Yeah, I choked it all the way.
What model is it, Dave?
The 3000.
Is it a Mark III?
Is it a BJ8?
What year is it? What year is it, Dave?
63.
BJ7? The roll-up windows or Roadster?
It's the Roadster, but it's got roll-up windows.
Oh, okay. So it's a BJ7 then.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Oh, I'm sorry. We didn't hear you. Sorry.
The most common problem is that the choke that you pull out is not working at the carburetors.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's a little difficult to really check it, but what you do is you take the two suction chambers off the tops of the carburetors. That's the big bell thing.
Right.
Each held on with 3 screws in your case. Lift it off very carefully. There's a big spring inside and there's a piston inside. You lift all that out, and then you can see the jet. It's a little bronze circle at the bottom, and you have somebody pull the choke, and you watch to see that the jet drops, and the jet should go down about 1/4 of an inch when you pull the choke on.
Yeah.
If it doesn't, the choke's not working.
All right.
And don't mix those pieces up because they're paired to each other.
Yeah, I know. I've actually done quite a bit of work on. I have an MGA with the SUs, and I rebuilt the carburetors, and I got it running pretty well.
Yep.
So I know a little bit about the SU carbs, but I've just been struggling with this not starting in the cold.
Yeah, that's a good place to start. That's probably it.
Okay, great. I'll try that. Thank you.
Dave?
This is Mike. I have a similar problem, even in California. The car runs rough when it's cold. It's cold for here. That's maybe, it's just been sitting for a few days and it's been in the garage. So it's maybe 40, even 40, 50 degrees. In the old days when I had my first car was an MGTD, we used to say, well, you got to let it warm up. In this car, it runs fine once it's warmed up. My BJ8, it's actually the 9th to last BJ8 ever built, so it's relatively new. But it does run rough until it warms up. And I've tried to adjust the carburetors, check the timing, and I just can't quite figure it out.
Again, Mike, you giving it full choke?
Full choke, and maybe again it's the same thing. Maybe the choke just isn't choking enough.
Right.
You're talking about a BJ8 here.
Yes.
Yeah. There's an additional trick on a BJ8. On the bottom of the carburetor, there's a little mechanism that operates the fast idle cam. It's a little difficult to understand, but you should, when you pull the choke, have somebody pull the choke out while you look at the carburetor linkages, and you should see the two slot-headed screws, one on each carburetor, and you should see them drop. And what they're doing is they're actually moving the fast idle mechanism. Unfortunately, they are rods that pass through the body of the carburetor, and they tend to seize in the carburetor. And when they're seized in the carburetor, they stop you putting the choke on properly. It's a hard thing to explain, but that if you don't see a screw on each carburetor drop a little when you pull the choke on, you got to start looking at the choke mechanism on the carburetor.
And is that the fast idle?
It is the fast idle mechanism, yes.
Okay. Yeah, they open the throttles just a hair.
Yeah. Okay. But they have to move down or they're jamming the choke.
Okay, and if I don't see them move down?
Then it gets really interesting. Then what you do is you undo the little screw and you get a very small parallel punch that'll go down inside the thread, and you tap, 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 and the whole rod will drop out the bottom, and you clean it all up and put it back together again. Sounds like fun.
Yeah. Put a little bit of oil on them too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But that's on a BJ8, that is a common problem.
Okay, well, that's probably what it is.
Mm-hmm.
So again, the cure is to take the screw out.
Yeah, they're taking the screw out, and that'll take off a little lever that's got another screw with a spring in it. So this little sort of stepped lever, there's a spring and a screw, and there's another spring underneath the whole thing. And then when you put the tiny parallel punch down and tap on it, the whole rod will come out. The rod's about 2 inches long, and it'll drop out the bottom. Well, it might go into the cavity of never find in the frame, but if it doesn't, it'll come out the bottom.
Yeah. This sounds like Murphy's ready to strike.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. But that's the idea. That's the basic idea.
Okay. Make sure you got a magnet handy on a telescoping rod. Or are they brass?
They're brass, but the end's steel. and it's got a little phenolic roller on the bottom, which is crazy.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're working down there, put a towel under the carburetors.
Yeah.
Michael's right. Once it hits that cavity, that abyss, you never get it out ever.
Yeah.
It's a good idea.
Okay. Maybe I'll just let it warm up.
Good idea.
That idea has merit.
So once she's up to 160 degrees, Mike, she runs fine?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
it's just a little, and it's mainly at lower RPMs where it sounds rough. If the RPM is above, say, well, it's 2,500, it seems to run smoothly. But that may be just, the RPMs may be just masking the problem.
Yeah.
It coughs back through the air filters. Is that what you hear? Cough, cough, cough.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, that's typical. That's a no choke situation.
Yeah, it sounds like it's missing.
Yeah. It can cough back so badly that it actually destroys the little plastic damper things on the tops of the carburetors as well. It pushes the rod through the plastic.
Well, it hasn't done that, thank God.
It'll happen eventually.
Okay. Thank you.
We're very optimistic on this call, aren't we, Mike? Other questions from the floor?
Actually, I had a question for, is it John? I see an XK8 in the background for one of you. And I can't, let's see if I can.
Okay, I'm not. What's the question?
Oh, it's due to the headlamps on an XK8. I also have an 04 XK8, and of course they seal if you drive it in the rain and so forth, it fogs up. And I have never been able to find a solution for that, and you can't get new headlamps.
So are you talking to me?
I don't. Anybody has an XK8?
Well, the car behind mine is
a Porsche, right?
That's a Boxster.
Yeah. Oh, it's a Boxster.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, it looked the front looked like my XK8. So
Well, it's German engineered, so you don't have the problem, right, John?
It's not mine.
okay.
I don't really, it's not my problem.
I'd like to make a point here. It is not an XKE. It's an E-type. We've never called an XKE.
You're right.
This is an XK8, an 04 XK8.
Oh, XJ8?
An XK8, yes.
Oh, it's not an irregular old E-type.
No,
No.
it's not.
Much
But
more
My
modern.
apologies. Different car.
different car totally.
Yeah.
It's built
Well-
by
well-
Ford. It's reliable.
Well, Mike, it's like Michael. It's like Mark I Sprites. They're not bug eyes; they're frog eyes.
Right. Okay.
I have a
Other questions
question.
tonight?
I have a question someone can help me with, I hope. Speaking of frog eyes, I have a 1960 Bugeye Sprite, and it has a little problem. It starts and runs perfectly. Everything is fine. Maybe the oil pressure is a little low given its age, but it takes almost all my effort to turn the steering wheel. And I think I was told by someone who really didn't look at it very closely that the bushings may be binding on the swivel pins of the front suspension parts that turn the wheels, and that if I got a reamer, I could ream out the bushings a little bit and loosen up the steering. And of course, I used grease to try to lubricate it, wondering if that would help. And really, nothing helps. Now, the wheels turn, and it's like driving a full-size car without power steering, basically. But
Thomas, is both right to the left? Does it matter which way you're turning?
it doesn't matter.
Both directions.
Right.
What if it's jacked up on stands? Is the resistance still there? I mean, just if it's truly a mechanical issue in your rack and pinion, I mean, remove the friction of being still. What happens when it's up in the air?
Yeah, I've never had I've had it jacked up when changing the oil, but I've never put it on stands, so I can't honestly answer that question. But while it's rolling, of course, it's pretty easy to control it going in a straight line. But even turning it at 30 miles an hour or so, it's resists the cornering a little bit on the steering. There isn't like that's the situation.
Anyone have any other suggestions for Thomas?
Yeah,
I think I have an
Thomas, the
MG.
person who you talked to regarding the reamer or they were talking about the kingpins. These cars have what are called kingpins. And the kingpins are what the wheels swivel on when you turn the steering. And they're a steel pin, a stepped steel pin that runs through bronze bushes, which are in the hub assembly or in the. If the car sits for a long, long time, the steel pin can rust, and that makes the steel pin seize in the bronze bushes. Okay. The only way to properly diagnose it is to, as somebody suggested, get the car up in the air, and then you actually have to take the tie rod ends off the front swivel axles. Once you've taken the tie rod ends off the front swivel axles, then you can feel which or if both of the swivel axles are causing the problem, or the swivel axles, kingpins, the same thing. It can also be the steering rack itself. Sometimes they get water in them and there are bushes in the ends of the steering rack and they rust, cause the same problem. So you really have to get it up in the air, take the tie rod ends off, and then you can determine which of the three components is causing the problem.
Now, I did buy some kingpins from someone a couple of years ago, and I cut them up thinking I could use them as makeshift reamers. And by
No.
Cut them up.
I did cut them up. It sounds sacrilegious to admit to that, but they weren't in A1 condition when I got them. So I thought there was nothing ventured, nothing gained. So, but I haven't actually used them as reamers. They're pretty much paperweights at this point. But I
So,
like
Michael, just as a recommendation, so when Thomas removes those, should he count the threads when he removes the?
No, that's not. You don't take them off the threads on the rack or on the rack extensions. You actually separate them at the taper where they go into the arms. Okay, so you have to loosen the nut off 3 turns, and then you whack the arm, and it drops off, and take it right off. Sounds easy.
You use a pickle fork.
Yeah, or use a pickle fork. That's right. But then you got to replace the rubber covers.
Okay, well, you're suggesting what to do if I'm reaming the bushings. Is that correct? But
okay, if you get into the reaming of the bushings, then you have to strip the whole hub assembly pretty well completely, and then put on the bench. And the reamer for a Bugeye is really hard to find. The later ones have a larger top bush. The Bugeyes have a smaller. I think it's a smaller top bush, and I don't have a reamer for those. Does anyone have a Bugeye reamer? No, they're rare as hen's teeth.
I made the kingpins into Bugeye reamers because they are different diameters on the top and the bottom.
Are you running the original drums? Because the original drums is one, but if you went to discs,
discs,
then it's not a Bugeye reamer, and so the bottom part of the kingpin is a larger diameter than the top.
Right.
So if you're running discs, the reamer isn't as impossible to find.
No, that's common. I got 2 or 3 of those, but the later one's easy to find, but the Bugeye one's impossible. Have you got discs on the car, Thomas?
Yes.
Oh, then you're luck. You got it. It's easy. Yep, it's easy.
Yeah.
Well, that solves it.
Yeah, but it's pretty. It's as good as done, really.
Right. I'm gonna do it tonight.
Yeah.
Can
Thomas, where are you located?
Another quick question?
Sure, go ahead, Thomas. You have the floor.
Okay, I'll be quick. The pillars on each side of my Bugeye that represent the space on the body between the bonnet and the door have a little bit of rust
coming
through the bottom.
Okay, yeah.
And every time I bring it to a body shop, the guy scratches his head and takes my number and doesn't call me back. Is this something that can fix with like some lead or metal type of thing?
No, I mean they do rust there in the bottom of the A pillar, and they make patches for it, but you got to cut it out. You want to get it sandblasted in there, get rid of all the rust, and it's a modest job. It's not the worst job by any means, but it's a modest job that should be taken care of.
It's another one you won't finish after the meeting.
That's right.
There goes my holiday budget. Yeah, well, thank you very much. I don't have any more questions. Other than that, the car is perfect in my mind.
Great. Excellent.
Thank you.
Hi, Robert. Glad you joined us.
Yes, thanks.
So you got Robert, by the way, at the New England Concord this year, won Best in Show with his Phase 1 BJ8. He's got an absolutely beautiful car. He's maintained the car himself for over 40 years. And it's a just beautiful Colorado red. But he's got a problem with the plastic guides on his roll-up windows. Anything else you want to add, Robert?
Yeah, that's it right now. What I'm trying to solve there's three little plastic guides that they go up and down on, and I don't know, if one of them breaks, the whole window doesn't go up and down anymore. Very nice. So what I learned is that you have to take the glass completely out of the door. You have to completely disassemble everything on the door, just about. Take all the trim off, and then the glass comes right out. And then you take the metal edges off of the glass, and the clips are underneath there. And then you have to put the metal edges back on with maybe a big clamp, that you could pull it on kind of slowly. But the question that I have not been able to really resolve is this. There's what I've discovered actually is the material is called the glass seal setting tape. It's for setting the glass into the metal ridging. Uh, there's they make that. That's what I need here. They don't really sell anything like from Moss or somebody like that they prescribed. It's just right for our cars. So it's just a generic product out there, and they make it in different thicknesses. So I'm thinking I need a 1/16th, but it could be a 1/32nd, that kind of a thing. Has anybody had experience with the glass and using glass setting tape? To put that back together. It's important that you use the right one so that it all stays together, when you're rolling your windows up and down after you've done this. Anybody know anything about that?
It's available on Amazon. It's
What's
called
that?
glass setting tape 1/16th. You can buy it on Amazon.
1/16th, Robert.
Yeah.
Got it.
Amazon.
And
Okay.
the important thing is, as you saw in that video, I think that you watched, you've got to put kerosene or engine oil onto it as you install it, because that makes it swell and it makes it stay on the glass.
Engine oil would work?
Engine oil or kerosene. Kerosene's better, but engine oil does work.
Yeah.
Well, I just said, how are things
Good,
there? But
'cause-
all the kids, maybe.
Robert, any other questions with that?
You only need about 5 feet of it to do the whole.
I have maybe a basic question, if I have time. It's my first winter.
Is it related to this window question?
No, totally different.
Okay, well, Nick, let's wait. Let's let Robert finish.
Okay, sorry.
Well, I guess I'm all set. That should, I'm hoping to get this back together and have my windows going up and down real nice.
Okay, so it's 1/16th, Michael said, and you can get it from Amazon and use kerosene.
Yeah, it's called glass setting tape, and I'm looking forward to having that in my hand. Thank you.
Thank you both. Yep. So Nick, you got a question?
Yeah, just maybe a basic question. It's my first winter for my BJ8, and I probably won't be driving it much for a few months at least. I'm up in the Northeast. It's stored in a barn, unheated, and just wanted to check if there's anything that I'm missing. I've got it, all the oils changed, the antifreeze was changed, pulled the battery. I'm not going to put it on jack stands, but I'll roll it, once a month. Is there anything that I'm missing that could happen that those who've had cars over the winter would?
So is the car on concrete or is on
concrete?
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, there's a couple things that I do. Mine sits on concrete, and I'll put the air pressure in the tires up to 50 pounds. And don't forget to let it out again in the spring.
Yeah.
And the other thing I do is I add stabilizer to the fuel and fill the tank right to the top.
I did that.
Good.
I'm a boater, so I'm used to doing that.
Okay.
Yeah.
You said you remove the battery. Where are you storing the battery?
In my heated garage, and I put it. I charge it. I've got a trickle charger, but I charged it. I'll probably charge it once a month just to top it off.
Well, trickle charger works. Do you have it on a block of wood?
I've got it on a countertop.
Okay, because you don't want to leave that on concrete either.
Yeah, no, I know that. So
worry about the mice.
Yeah.
Well, what I did, because that was my worst fear. So I went and looked at a zillion websites. I ended up buying a metal flashing 14 inches tall a roll, and I've circled the car with metal flashing. And I've been told that a mouse can't jump more than 12 inches. So I'll let you know. I'll let you know in April if it worked.
I would
I'll
suggest
put some
you take.
traps out anyways.
I would suggest you take the mats out as well.
Yeah.
Oh.
I take as many loose pieces out of the car, and I put dryer sheets in them. Apparently, rodents don't like dryer sheets.
Okay, I'll try that.
Or mothballs.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
Or
Hopefully the-
mouse poison works too. Those little green balls that look
pouches
like
work good.
marbles.
They have all kinds of
The flashing idea, I got to tell you, it looks like it's going to work. There's no way for them to get in unless they're one hell of a jumper.
I've tried an additive, Grandpa Gus. You can buy it online, and that works.
Okay.
Excellent.
Really?
Yeah.
What is that? A
Grandpa
liquid
Gus.
or
Yes.
It's like little packets.
Solution that we use, if you can see here.
Oh, cat.
Haven't seen it since we got her.
Have
you heard of kangaroo rats?
Well, I hate to tell you, but squirrels can jump more than 12 inches.
I tell you, I used Grandpa Gus, and it's worked great. I also, when I close my house, my vacation house in Maine, I sprinkle packets of Grandpa Gus around, and I haven't had any mice at all.
Grandpa Gus.
Grandpa
I
Gus.
use Grandpa Gus
And you can
as
get it
well.
on Amazon like anything else, or
Really?
Look.
It's also carried in all True Value hardware
Ace Hardware.
stores.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the other thing I do is I make sure I leave my hood and trunk open because mice do not like light.
Oh, good point.
Okay.
Okay.
One thing I do is I put a plastic sheet on top of the concrete, roll the car over it, and then bring the plastic over on the sides.
They won't eat through that plastic.
Well, it's not for mice. It's just humidity coming out of the concrete. When you don't heat the garage, it's the concrete seems to carry humidity.
Okay.
Thanks, Roger.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I had my car up on a lift with a tonneau cover on it and a car cover, and the mouse got inside and ate a hole in the top, the brand new convertible top. So I've got Grandpa Gus. I've also got one of those electronic things out in the garage that screams when you go out there. But I hate dryer sheets. I don't like the smell of them or mothballs. But the Grandpa Gus is pretty good. And there's another rodent thing that smells like balsam that's pretty nice, and some another one that smells like peppermint.
Right.
It's supposed to do well.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I've got a question for the group that Sebring Sprite that behind me. I've installed a used 3.7 diff in it. So I'm turning at 65 miles an hour. I'm turning 3,600 RPMs. It's got a 1275. It's 101 horsepower. But it's got a god-awful whine in fourth gear. I did have it visually checked before installing it, but I didn't do anything other than that. Any recommendations for, I had a great 3.9 diff in it that didn't whine at all, but this 3.7 is horrible in fourth gear. Any thoughts or recommendations?
What does it do,
Does
Peter?
it change when you put your foot down and lift your foot off?
So if under acceleration, it whines. When I'm not accelerating, just coasting, it does not whine.
Gears. It's gears.
Was that Bob Abbott? Did you have a question too, Bob?
I have a
thought I heard
question.
Bob. So it's the gears and how much of it? It was not a rebuild. It was in the third time I put a 3.7 diff in one of my Sprites, and the other two have been great. Now, obviously, I did not have it, properly checked out beforehand. But I hear something called bluing. So so what exactly does bluing do?
You put a stuff that's called engineer's blue. It's like a very, very, very fine geez, I don't know what you call it. It's a paste, very, very fine paste, but it's not abrasive or anything. You put the engineer's blue, you spread it on all the teeth of the crown wheel. It takes a long time. You spread it on all the teeth of the crown wheel, and then you try to load the crown wheel up and turn the input shaft. You do it about 3 times, and then you look at what the impression is on the crown wheel of the teeth from the pinion on the crown wheel. And there's diagrams that are in the factory workshop manual that shows you how it should look. It should be essentially central on the crown wheel teeth. That's the easy bit. Then you've got to adjust the shims to move it to the way you want it, and that's the hard bit. But it can be done. I've done it. It's hard work. You spend all day getting it right.
Oh, Peter, is there oil in there?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm using a Castrol 75 140 diff oil.
Okay.
Brand new.
This is you're talking about the rear end, right?
Yes, the differential.
The differential. Okay. I don't know about the differential, but I do know about the transmission. And I'm just wondering if what I say might affect the differential too and the gears. I was having trouble with the overdrive shifting, and it was all rebuilt by this guy in Oxford, Connecticut. He's a specialist.
Yep.
And I told him what I was going to try, and I drained out my transmission and I put in this called red line.
Yep.
And the red line, there's a special red line for transmissions that have brass parts in them. You may not need that in your differential if you
I don't think differential has that.
Try the red line. It's a little expensive, but it made all the difference in the world.
Yeah.
And I think because it's more viscous and it binds to the gears better, and it changes your friction.
So I will say, so originally what I had in there, I had 75-85 gear oil in there and differential fluid. I drained that out and went to this 75 140, and it's what Bill Rawls was using in his race car. But that did not make a difference.
No.
So it had more viscosity, but it is differential fluid, and it did not make a difference. I was trying to see if I could get by easy without having to remove everything that I just installed.
Yeah. Anyway, it worked for me. I thought it might work for the differential also.
You're not gonna cure the whining with oil. The problem, as Mike says, is the alignment of the pinion to the crown wheel. That's the problem.
What did
the guy say that you bought it from?
He's a club member, and I bought 3 other ones from him, or 2 other ones from him, and had no problem. I've not gone back to him with the problem with it.
He didn't say because it was whining.
Well, no, I don't think it was in his car. I'm not sure where he sourced it. But he sourced it elsewhere, I believe, and it was not in his car. But like I said, I've installed both in 2 of my other Sprites at 1275s, and I had no problems. And the gears all looked fine. I visually inspected all the gears, and everything looked fine. But obviously they're not. So how bad of a job is shimming, Michael? You just said it takes a long time to do it. Is that?
I've done quite a few Healey 3.66s, and I would say it's the biggest problem these days actually is getting the shims. And you also have to pull the bearings off to put the shims behind them. The bearings have got to come off the sides of the diff, and there's very little to grip on the bearing to pull the bearing off. But you can do it. It can be done, but it's not something you want to tackle without thinking about it, shall we say.
Okay.
If you send it up, I'll do it for you.
We can get another rear end. It'd probably be easier.
Well, 3.7s are hard to find.
Yeah, thin on the ground.
I got 3 different 3.9s. I can put the one back in it that came in the car. That was great. Yep.
Peter,
Roger?
I had the same thing on my BJ8 when I went to Summit this summer, and it was whining and the whole bit. And right now the rear end is out, and somebody's preparing a new rear end. And when I took it off, it wasn't beautiful. It was all used up, and you know, if it's whining, it's because it's got something wrong in it.
Yeah.
Was there any metal came out of it, Pete?
No.
No, so it's still clean, so it could be recoverable. Could
Yeah.
be recoverable. Yeah.
Okay. Well, just have to redo everything I've already done. I can put the 3.9 back in it. I know it's perfect. So
Yeah.
maybe that's what route we'll go.
Well, the man with your skills, I reckon you could do it.
Yeah. Are there other questions tonight?
Yeah, Pete, you could take it to John Esposito at Quantum.
Yep.
He'll set it up for you if you need.
As long as you don't want it back this year.
Is that quantum mechanics you're talking about?
Yes, John
Yeah,
Esposito.
that's where I took mine.
Yeah.
In Oxford, Connecticut.
Yep.
That's right. Yeah, he'll set it up for you. He does good work.
Well, he does.
Yep. Well, Judd Perkins had a tech session there last year for Wing 1.
Right.
So, Dave Francis, you got a question?
Yeah, last month I said I was trying to put an old vinyl top that I got with a BN4 that I bought 2 years ago. The top had not been installed in over 30 years and been wrapped up and put in various places. I got the header on the top of the top of the windshield, and then I found it was impossible to get the thing. And I talked to somebody at Moss, and they said that the vinyl on these things shrinks over the years.
Yeah.
And so at any rate, I'm going to get a mohair canvas top and see if I can find somebody who can put that on. But that was surprising. Well, maybe not so surprising that a piece of vinyl sitting someplace in a damp garage could shrink in time.
Well, I'll tell you, Dave, on my first Healy, my BN4, my top shrunk so much it pulled the top rail on top of the glass. You could see a gap between the glass itself and the top rail when you put the top on.
Yeah, I was afraid I was afraid it was going to break the windshield.
Right. Yep.
Yeah.
So I would you know what? Some things that you could do is maybe make a bimini top out of it for the winter. I mean, for the summer. No, seriously, they work great.
Yeah.
I've got them on all my Sprites, so that way you don't get the sun beaming down on you. And a number of our members in New England have taken old convertible tops,
really,
and just leave it around the frame, so that you've got it as a bimini top. So
I'd love to see a picture of one of those.
Yep. We can send you some.
Okay.
I've had a similar trouble with mine. I usually do the reverse, putting the top up. I strap it on in the front, and then I put the pins in the back at the end. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yep.
I do it reverse.
Roger.
Yeah.
That's the way we
try it. Try it in hot sunshine. Sometimes when it's really hot, it'll stretch a little further. But 30 years, it's a long time.
Yeah, I put a heater in the thing and everything else. It didn't work. And the early 57s have these two slots where you put the rigging in
rail.
And
yeah,
it's a real bitch.
Yeah,
and they that's the only. About the 6-month period.
It's a long bridge car. It's got sliding top mounts.
Right. Yes.
Yep.
They only did that 1 year.
I know why.
I got one of those.
Yep.
Oh boy.
No, that's true. They're a pain in the ass to put up.
Yep.
Yep.
Our Sprite tops are also a pain in the ass to put up, and I put mine up. I attach it to the windshield first, and then I stretch it down to the back. And then our Sprites have a little spring release, so the frame pops up at the end, but it's really tough to do, I have to admit.
Yeah. Definitely want to do it best on a warm day. Don't try and do it today.
No.
Or tomorrow.
That's right, or tomorrow. So, are there other questions?
I was just a comment. I was on the Kilmartin site out of Australia, and they said they're winding down their operation because the lads who started it want to retire. Now they're hoping they're hoping someone will pick it up and carry on. But
wow,
yeah,
I had not heard that.
They're figuring like March.
Yeah, I got one of the Australian newsletters today, and it had a farewell letter to them. They've actually closed, I think.
Yeah.
Oh.
They tried hard to get someone to buy that business, but couldn't do it.
Yeah, I don't know if you know, those who follow Bring a Trailer, there was that 100M that sold last week on Bring a Trailer without the original motor and it had a Kilmartin. No, sorry, it had a jewel frame. My bad. But it only went for 99,000. It was a nice looking car, but it didn't hold its value that it would have if it was still with the original motor and the original frame. But
it's still got 99,000.
Yeah.
Jeez, Mamma mia.
White with black coves. Yep. So, but I mean, obviously, we know all over the market's soft right now. It's probably down 20%, unfortunately. But
oh well.
So I had a question, Pete, that I sent in earlier, and that was about a shop manual. What's the best shop manual that's available? I have a 63 BJ7.
Well, I think the great, as Michael talked about, the regular Austin-Healey shop, it's green in color. You can get it from Moss, or you could probably even Google it, or Amazon. It's the standard shop manual. It's green in color. That's the one I recommend.
Yeah, the factory manual, in my experience, is by far the best.
What's that, Michael?
The factory manual is by far the best. It looks like this.
Yep.
Can you see it?
No, your car's in the way. There you go. Yeah, well,
it's very hard to get the range.
It's solid green.
Solid
Bruce.
green. Yeah. Sorry, I can't get it to show.
I have the original book that came with my Healey.
No, that's not the manual.
No, I know it's not the manual.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm sorry. You can go into Moss Motors, and I'm going there, and it'll have the shop manual there.
Great bedtime reading.
Try it.
Yep.
I have a large blue.
Oh, there you go. Dave showed it. Yeah, Dave Jameson's got a picture of it. Bruce.
There it is.
You see Dave Jameson with that horrible Ford he's got up on the lift there. It's a piece of crap up there, and he's got his green shop manual there too.
I got one of these also, which is a mechanical and body service parts list, BJ7 and 8. It's a pretty big thing, It's got a great breakdown on everything.
I haven't seen that one before, Robert.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
It exists.
Bruce, any other questions?
Anybody needs it, let me know.
Yeah, I got a question
to
Mike. Over the years, Mike, don't have that. What do they call it? ZDP? ZDP.
ZDDP.
That zinc in our oil. Mm-hmm. Yes. Did you ever run across many camshafts that had wear in any of the British engines?
Yeah, we had a pretty bad experience with I can't remember what oil it was, but it didn't have ZDDP on a new cam in a race 104 race engine, and it chewed out a cam in about 1,000 miles. But since that time, I have exclusively used Valvoline VR1 non-synthetic, and it has been fantastic. It has never let me down. So that's what I recommend to everybody.
Well, that's what I've been using, and it works good. I was just wondering if anybody else had, seen the problem of it wearing badly.
And the best.
I start new engines with run-in oil. You can buy Lucas run-in oil. That's for first startups. I start them up on the Lucas oil, maybe run them for an hour. Then I take the Lucas oil out and I put the Valvoline in, and that's how I run them.
The best place to buy that VR1 oil is through Amazon. Yeah. I paid, I think 60% of the price I used to pay for the VR1 through Amazon, and it's delivered right to your door.
Yep.
Good deal.
I just got a case of 3 delivered this week.
Yeah.
Case of 3.
I understand Walmart sells it as well. So if you got a local Walmart, you can get it there too.
Oh yeah.
Other questions?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you all for your time tonight. Again, we will post this out on our website. Happy holidays to all. Our next call will be on January 12th. So again, the second Tuesday of the month. This is a recurring Zoom meeting, so it's always the same. It does not change. And we will also post up from AI Companion the summary of our call tonight. So if there's anything that you didn't quite capture and you want to go back and look at it, it'll be in both written form and also in video form. So
you did mean
again,
Monday,
thank you
right?
all for your participation. I'm sorry, Chris?
You did mean Monday, not Tuesday, right?
Thank you. Did I say Tuesday? Sorry. Yeah. It's that old age thing. You know, Jameson's got problems with his arms. I got problems with my head. You're right. The second Monday of the month. So January 12th. Is that right? Did I get that right, Chris?
Yep.
Okay, I get that part right. Okay.
Good.
Peter, maybe you have a Lucas brain.
I know it.
I haven't got my Austin-Healey calendar for next year yet, so I don't know what's going on in January.
No, it's coming shortly. And at this time, I'd like to really acknowledge Roger Hamel. Roger is our president. He's retiring the end of this month. He's been our president for the past 3 years. It's been an honor for me to work with Roger, as we have for many years. We've been longtime friends. Those of you who are familiar with the Formula One, Roger, for 25 years, ran the Pilots Parade up there. So he's done some incredible work for the Austin-Healey mark and this Austin-Healey family. So I really want to thank Roger for all of his support and continuation. We look forward to him and his retirement next year.
Thank you. Well, you can read my president's byline in the Healey Mark this month. It's a thank you very much for all you've given me for the past 3 years. So and I've had a bunch of good guys like Peter and about 10 other people on the officer group there that were tremendous. So it was a hell of a ride. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you. And so those you made. So our new president is Ben Moore. He'll be taking over the role in that presidency in January. And Ben is a little younger than Roger and I. I'd say he's probably in his late 40s.
About half.
Younger than all of us.
But we look forward to Ben's leadership. Matter of fact, I'm the vice president of promotion for AHCA, and Ben was I preceded Ben in that role. So Ben and I have worked together for many years. He's now third generation. His son loves Healey's, as does Ben and Ben's dad. So he's his family is third generation in the Austin-Healey Club of America. So again, thank you all. Happy holidays, and we'll see you in January, if not sooner.
Great job, Peter.
Thank you.
Thank you, Peter.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Peter.
Bye.
Good night.
Good night.